Happy Wednesday to her.
Happy Wednesday, Consuela.
I am still dealing with allergies. I probably sound
Yeah.
like it. I was resting before we came, and I was like, let me rest up because we got the heist to do. I want to do it because we're going to be out of town. Well, I
Yes.
am going to be out of town this weekend, so we won't have any streams. Well, starting Sunday. I'll still stream on Saturday with Mama Lala.
Right, right.
And so we're going to try to get in as much heisting as we can. And
Mm,
I dressed for the occasion today. So
you did. You popped on the jumpsuit.
I have, yes, this is day one prize is the jumpsuit.
Yes.
And you want to make your comment
You've
about
up.
the jumpsuit now? Because I wear Reborn. And
Yeah,
so
sure.
I decided I was going to make my girl look the part since she's got some prizes and we're about to like get into the thick of it. So I was like, okay, let's put this jumpsuit on. But you were going to do the
Yeah.
same. And I was like, no, you look fine. But then you looked anyway. And
Yeah, I looked anyway, and so I guess I don't know if maybe there's trouble sometimes rigging for Jake, but I was surprised that it wasn't one of the options. So it's got Gianni, got Legacy Mail, and it's got Senra Blake. Um, but no Jake. So I'm perplexed by that.
uh, yeah, that's
Yeah.
curious to me. I know the issue with Jake tends to be like, what do you have in your
Materials.
hand now? What is that?
I can hold the clipboard at least that comes with the jumpsuit,
Oh,
so
there's
I've
a
got that.
clipboard? I didn't even
There's a
notice.
clipboard.
Okay, well, you'll hold the clipboard for us because my hands are full. I've got my
Yes.
beer and a snow globe. So I'll
Yes.
leave you in charge of the clipboard since apparently that's the only thing that will fit you.
Right.
Although,
Exactly.
to be honest, you could just alpha your body out and wear whatever body
I
type
know I
you want.
could,
But it's the,
but
is it the
principle of the
fundamental,
thing.
the principle? That's what it is. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, okay, I didn't even notice a clipboard. I just looked for my size and put it on. But I've also
Right.
been
So
wrestling.
did I initially,
Yeah,
but
you're
I was
like, what
looking
else
at it
is in
again.
here?
Mhm.
Yeah. So jumpsuit's day one prize. The beer is day two prize, and the snow
Yeah.
globe I think is fun because there's a little animation in it, and that's the
Yeah, I
snow
see
globe from
that.
the museum.
Yeah.
So
And it looks like it's the museum entrance, maybe.
yeah, it's the Valmont. So and then I made
Neat.
my girl look like she was about to work, because she looked kind of glam before, and
Yeah.
if we're gonna be heisting and be subtle, she has to look like she
Right.
works for the museum. So
Yes.
that was my thinking. So then we get ready to dive in. And what did you discover?
So we had, of course, heard that you have to wait a day
Yeah,
to start each next event. Um, I didn't actually anticipate that it was literal 24 hours since the
yeah,
time you ended the last one, which I feel is a design flaw,
mm,
if I'm honest. Even scaling them back to like 20 hours,
yeah,
22 hours. The trouble is, in our case, we were planning on logging in at the same time every day for 2 weeks.
yeah,
Well, that fundamentally doesn't work because each day you complete an event, it pushes it back so many more minutes and so many
yeah,
more minutes, and eventually you're just like, well, I can't do it today.
yeah,
Um, and I know that we're not the only ones that have like a specific time they can log in,
yeah,
especially during the week. So I would encourage, if MadPea was going to do this sort of thing again, I would encourage softening it to, like I said, maybe 20 hours. You suggested 12 hours, but I can
yeah,
understand them trying to push it like to the next day strictly.
yeah,
Um, and 20 hours achieves that, especially if you're designing all of the day's achievements to be like less than an hour. That's fine,
yeah.
you know.
But it's almost like we'd have to start playing every other day because it's
Yeah,
it's a challenge to get on and be online at this time. It happened
it
to
is.
work out for me the last couple of times because I've been like trying to hurry up and get out of work on time. Today I
Right.
actually took a half day because I was not feeling well, and I was trying to
Yeah.
rest up for the stream. So I was like, "All right, we should start at 6 o'clock." And then you're like,
Yeah.
"Actually, you said what time did we finish yesterday?" I'm like, "Why does that matter?" And then you're telling me. So
Yeah.
we think we have to wait another 18 minutes.
Yes, because we finished around. Oh,
6:20.
sorry. Thank you. Time
6:20
zones.
SLT.
Yes.
9:20 Florida time.
Yeah, 9:20 Florida time, which is the
Yeah.
worst time. Nobody should live in Florida.
The worst time. So, yeah. So we were just gonna come on and chit chat. We got 15 minutes of chit chat before we can play the game.
Yeah,
Um,
so I guess I can talk more about
sure.
Shadowrun because you asked a little bit about like
Yeah.
what people kind of might do, and so I have some interesting Shadowrun stories. I'll start with with what I think is the most interesting story, and I don't know if I know I've told you this one, but I don't know if I've ever told it on stream. So, I used to do a lot of tabletop gaming, and especially a lot of Shadowrun tabletop gaming. And I was the GM for pretty much all of it. Um, the game master, the person actually running the world, running all the NPCs and everything like that, creating the stories that people can follow and such. Um, and I always did, of course, try to make it kind of revolve a bit around the the players and the characters they were playing and the stories they wanted to tell as well. But on this one, so let me give a little bit more background. I, at that time, had a lot more recreational time, so I spent a lot of that doing game prep stuff, which meant um, I would legitimately produce like manila folders with dossiers on people and job details and maps and all kinds of stuff to be able to hand out when people were at like key moments. Kind of like, we experience here in the MadPea game, where you get like actual stuff, information, props, maps, things to interact with. So I always had that ready to hand to people when they got to the point where they would actually encounter that information, or what they got hired by someone. They'd be like, here's the details that I've got, and they could go digging for more, and they'd be able to add stuff to their folder and stuff. So that's awesome. Well, one day I was having lunch with one of the players, and one of the things that I always encouraged them to do, because there was so much, because they tried to put so much detail into their plans and tried to cover all their bases and stuff, I always encouraged them, hey, if you have questions or have thoughts during the week, please feel free to reach out. Don't just try and hold it all for the day of the game, because some things may be a dead end, some things you may be able to just kind of dig up on your own, and then you'll be able to bring it to the table, that sort of thing. So, I always encouraged that sort of collaboration. So I was meeting uh, one of my players at lunch at a Fazoli's, Italian kind of fast food place. Infinite breadsticks, great place. Um, he's asking me some details about this job they're gonna go on, and he's specifically trying to find out more about a train. Now, what they were trying to do was they were trying to spring this hacker type person who was in a prison transport train car on what was otherwise a line of cargo train cars, and this was in Germany. So they would have they were gonna get a flight over there, and they needed to be able to execute getting him out of there without ideally raising a whole fuss and having to deal with an international incident sort of situation.
Okay.
They needed him because he had already stored in his head a bunch of encrypted data that they needed for the job that they wanted to do. Well, someone overheard our conversation. Someone reported my license plate
Oh no.
to the FBI.
Oh no.
And as coincidence would have it, they actually show up at the house to ask
Wow.
questions on the following game day.
Wow. Did
Which
you
is
invite them to play?
no, I played it as straight as I could because I didn't want to get disappeared or something.
Get disappeared. Wow.
I was you know, they were a little concerned about the fact that, you know, I had a dining table that had all of these maps and things and
Wow.
pictures of people. But, you know, we were, the other gamers kind of just got out of the way, and I primarily, they talked to me, and I was able to explain, hey, no, this is just a tabletop role-playing game. Like, the whole, if you look at the timetables here and stuff, it's set in, like, 2060. You know, it's not real. So, yeah. It was a very wild... Sorry. It was a very wild experience. It was very nerve-wracking at the time. But, you know, they didn't arrest me or anything. They just... they did advise me not to try to leave the country for a while.
Oh gosh.
So
Wow.
I'm sure that I was at least on a list for a while. I don't know if I still am. I don't believe I still am.
I wouldn't be surprised.
I
You're
wouldn't
kind of
either.
radical.
True. That's true. But yeah, that was an interesting day.
I imagine.
Yeah, what they opened up with was like, you know, is that your Oldsmobile Cutlass?
Oh.
It's like, fuck. Yes. What? I mean, what?
Gotta watch out for Cutlass drivers.
Part of me wondered if it was like a matter of like a stolen car, because like I got the Cutlass for like $1,100 from someone that just was trying to offload it.
Oh,
You know,
wow.
it wasn't through a dealership or something.
Did it fall off the back of a truck?
Not as far as I know. I mean, they had the deed and everything, but
Yeah.
but you know, it was also very, very cheap to get a car.
Crazy.
But yeah, that was a wild day. But yeah, some of the crazy jobs that my party ended up getting up to. Let's see, they at some point they needed to help forcibly assist in someone's retirement that was otherwise not being allowed to leave the corporation they were in. So they actually had to break in and get the person and smuggle them out of the office.
Okay.
Because part of the lore of Shadowrun, I don't know if I explained it last time, but like, you know, mega corporations and stuff, they just do whatever. Laws on their turf really don't apply. So, you know, a lot of times they bind their employees into ridiculous contracts that are enforced sometimes by things like implanted explosives.
Okay.
That, you know, if you say leave your area of work and go too far away, you explode. I say this because they didn't quite do enough homework on that particular job,
Oh,
and the back of their van got very messy.
gotcha. Wow.
Um, that's part of the problem. There was they would have been able to find out about that, but the way they opted to get the person out involved um, tranquilizing them and putting them under, uh, and making it look like it was a kidnapping.
Okay.
So they weren't able to ask for help with that part. Oh dear. Um, but a lot of things go fine. They at one point stole like a prototype jet engine and replaced the parts of it that they basically replaced it with a non-working prototype or like mock-up, and dropped it off in the place of the thing that they stole, so that when the corporation went to do like their big demo, it did not work. And meanwhile, the employer that they got the other one for was able to make some bank with it, because they got the actual working engine and were able to reverse engineer it and stuff. Yeah. Let's see.
Still locked for me.
Yep.
I've left it open, but I've opened it and closed it and still locked, so we got like 6 more minutes.
I suspect so, yeah.
Do you have more Shadowrun stories, or?
Yeah.
You're full of Shadowrun stories.
I was actually running Shadowrun on the day. This is another weird, wild story that ties into things that were outside of game. I was running the Shadowrun game on the day that Hurricane Charlie rolled through, and my friends had come over because they actually kind of thought that my place would be safer than theirs.
Okay. So Shelter and Shadowrun.
Shelter and Shadowrun, yes. And that one was kind of a weird day because they were trying to chase down some weird blood magic stuff that was being operated by a corporation. One of the corporations in the Shadowrun lore is called As Technology, which is basically leveraging. It's kind of playing off of like Aztec mythology, but they also stretch technology with like ritualistic magic and such.
Okay.
This led them down to some ruins in the jungle in South America. Well, this got I took it a little bit of a different direction simply because of the way things progressed, because it wasn't like an hour into the game before the electricity went out, so we were gaming by lamplight because I had an actual like gas lamp, or like kerosene type lamp, and we had crazy storm going outside, so I kind of amped up the like horror type aspects of things more than I had intended to initially, just because it fit the atmosphere so well. That was also the day that my roof was effectively destroyed and had tree limbs actually puncture not only through the roof but into the ceiling of the living room. So part of our gaming experience also involved rotating trash cans to collect the water, empty it outside, put down another trash can to collect water. And we were doing that probably every 10 or 15 minutes, was rotating the trash cans, because otherwise I would have had all kind of flooding damage.
Yeah.
Um, so that was an interesting one. Now they ended up so disturbed by some of the stuff that was in this temple turned corporate research lab that they decided they did not want to actually take the thing that they were looking for. They wanted all of it gone. So they laced the whole place up. They left. They got a bunch of like C4 explosives. They went back in and systematically laced the whole place, all of its supports, everything they could, with explosive charges, and then just leveled the ruin. So, I mean, I chalked that up as that the horror elements were effective at creating a mood, because uh, yeah. But I always, even in jobs that I'm not kind of focusing on the ones where they just all went super smoothly, because I find the challenges or the alternate endings sometimes more interesting. Um, and as a game master, I always tried to make it so that even in failure, they would get more threads to follow. Um, so it wasn't just like a dead end or whatever. You know, not getting paid itself is punishment, but it should always still move the story forward. And there should always be an out to allow that, no matter what actually goes on. Um, so that's kind of a philosophy that I have with running uh, collaborative storytelling games.
Yeah. Okay, well, according to this, we got, and when I say this, I mean my local chat from yesterday. We earned the
Yeah.
achievement Not Suspicious at 6:15.
Okay. Do we want to try
So,
leaving and coming back?
maybe, because
let's try
this
that.
should be open for us now.
Okay.
So let's go
Let's
back
try that.
home.
Yeah. I appreciate you keeping an eye on that, because I didn't know what time it was.
Yeah. Well, you were in the ballpark.
Yeah.
If anybody else runs into that, hopefully this does the trick.
Yeah. And hopefully.
I'll go back over here to the crew.
All right.
I'll just slide over and not even walk. Just sliding. Here we go.
You're walking to me.
I wasn't walking on my own screen. Alright.
All right. I got my clipboard.
Now I've just got to wait
I'm
for the
waiting
HUD
for-
to pop back on.
Yep. Same.
Okay, here it is.
How are we looking?
Maybe I have a gray box. Resin.
Gray box.
It's looking promising because all the other boxes are black. And this one's
Gotcha.
gray, so I think it must have just changed. So,
Gotcha.
I'm feeling encouraged. Because like I said, we got the achievement at 6:50. Yep, it's blue. Alright, so, if you are stuck and you come too early, go home and come back to kick the HUD. So, and then we'll be
Yeah.
mindful of when we actually get the achievement today to see how that works out tomorrow. I do have some concerns about tomorrow. I am supposed to be at work late for a special project, so we may not even get to play tomorrow. So we'll keep tabs on it.
I don't think we'll get to play tomorrow, especially
Regardless?
if this goes on at all.
Oh,
Because,
yeah, because it gets later.
it gets later.
Yeah,
so
so we might have to skip a day, so...
Yeah, I'm gonna request that we do,
Alright,
because
that's fine.
if we're getting started like at 10, that's not gonna work.
No.
Sorry, 7. That's
Yeah,
not gonna work.
and that's not going to work for me either. Like, I like to... Like, one of the things I was starting to enjoy, like yesterday, was a good amount of
Yeah.
time. But if it gets pushed back a half hour every time, then that gets pretty late pretty quick on a weekday. So...
Yeah.
Alright, well, let's get to it. I'm going to hit play. Because if I
Okay.
count down, you're just taking off ahead of me anyway. I'm
No,
hitting it.
I'm-
Nothing's happening.
Okay, I'll hit it as well.
I'm not going anywhere.
I went somewhere. Maybe try hitting it again.
I've been hitting it.
No. Well, I'm somewhere.
Well, let me close it and open it again. Nope. Unless I have to go home and come back again. It's not teleporting me anywhere.
That's awkward.
Let's see. Now it looks like it's going to do something. Maybe. Yes. Okay.
I can't see most of the museum, but maybe we'll be
Well,
able to do it anyway.
maybe it'll res in.
Maybe.
Things are resing for me now.
That's good. Maybe I'll try zooming way, way out. I was typing because these people were saying, "We're undercover. We're watching you." Which, I wouldn't think that you would just announce that you're undercover. That seems like a little antithetical to the undercover part. But
Yeah. Look at my sneakers. Aren't they cute? They're black.
we look suspicious. The new cereal.
Suspicious. Let's see.
I like your shoes. Yeah. Like. Yeah, it's not resing for me, but that's okay. I think I'll be able to figure it out. Like, I
Okay.
see enough of the frame, and if you're seeing it, then it's
I
fine.
see it, yeah. But maybe you need to relog. You don't want to relog?
I don't want to relog.
All right. Well, it says Black Canary tomorrow. Come alone. Do we know? Wait, this isn't the Black Canary. This is the museum. Oh.
Nope, it's in
Nope.
here.
Okay.
Find the guards in the art installation areas. Very well.
Oh, we got a message too.
Yep.
Shadow these 3 guards and figure out their loops. Don't get too close.
Okay.
All right. Can you pull me? Because I'm going to need to blow my nose.
Yes. 1 second. Okay.
I'm not. Oh, there you go. Okay.
I know. I was trying to fix issues.
Yeah.
Okay, I think there's a staircase like here.
Oh, that's right. You can't see. Okay, wait. Let me. I forgot. Okay, you're right. You totally nailed the staircase. All right. Let me. There's a
Okay, we see
guard.
a guard.
You can follow him. That's
Wait, did it not trigger for you?
no. What did
Oh,
not? What
you need
not
to
to?
get closer to him.
The guard?
Let me unhook. Yeah.
This guy? Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep. Okay.
Yeah, you need to just get close to
Each one?
each of the 3 guards.
Okay, so then we got to find the other.
I suspect he's going to be over here somewhere. You're running.
I'm running. Here he is. Got the second
Very
guy.
good. That one didn't trigger for me.
Really? You gonna go back to
Yeah,
him?
well, I only have 2 so
Yeah,
far.
2. Yeah, we need one
Oh,
more.
okay. Gotcha. Yeah, I need one more.
Oh, isn't the other guy? He's just posted here. He's not walking.
Yeah.
This guy. That's not
Oh,
even a
he's
real
just.
app. Oh no, that's this guy triggered for me in here.
Oh,
Stands
okay. In the
completely
Celestial
still.
Hall.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I didn't think about him as a real boy. You look like you're posing with him. Okay.
Okay. So and
We
then
got the guards. Okay.
the guy at the entrance might be hard to dodge. The dude doing the circle, he's slacking. Oh, okay. Locate all the security cameras in the museum. All right, security cameras. Those are usually up high, aren't they? Time to find all security cameras and locate any potential blind spots. Isn't this a security camera over here? This here?
Looks like a security camera.
Yeah. Okay. That one covers everything. No blind spots. What else?
Okay. There's going to be some in the halls, I'm sure. Do.
Where are you at? There you are.
I'm here.
Which way you want to go? Okay, that way.
Let's go this way. Yeah. I'm just taking a leisurely stroll through a museum. I'm not going to be running everywhere.
I got my running shoes on today.
I know, I know.
I should put on that other bumper, that one that barks. So when I hit you, it goes.
Huh. That'd be pretty good.
Yeah.
I think this is
Oh,
a
here's
camera
one.
over
Yeah.
here.
You're
Yeah,
right. It is. Yep.
yeah.
Blind spot
Has
near
one
the
blind spot.
alcove.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Hey, guard, Mr. Man.
Is this where we were already? Yeah, we were in there. So maybe is there any downstairs? Do we need to go downstairs?
Well, I don't. Maybe. We also haven't checked the east hallway.
Oh.
But I think I want to check the east hallway first. Was the
We didn't check in here already?
No, we didn't. But I don't see any in here.
Huh. That's interesting.
It is. Because that's quite a blind
Oh,
spot.
no. There's one back at the back of the room.
Oh, is there?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, you're right. Yeah. A sneaky snake. Hello. Show me your camera. Rotates between exhibits, leaving short windows of opportunity. Delicious opportunity.
Okay.
So now downstairs.
Did we? Yeah. Yeah.
I see one over here.
Where?
Covers the entrance.
Oh. See it? Okay. Okay.
Maybe there's one over the statue room.
Hang on a sec.
Okay.
So you said the statue room?
Yeah.
I don't know where that is, and you left. I had an interruption.
It's over here.
Oh, back. It's in the back on the. Yeah, I see you.
Yeah.
New message.
Mhm.
Okay, we got our achievement. Well, you did.
Yeah.
When will I get mine?
Yeah. It'll in a moment. I got a
So-
pin. Yeah. Pin me. Valmont Museum swag. Let's go.
All right, so the achievement is now at 6:32, but it sounds like tomorrow we're taking off so that we can play it at our time, a time we prefer.
Yes, I
So
would prefer that. Yeah.
let me put my pin on. So I'm
Yep.
adding all the prizes to myself.
Art
We'll
lives
see.
here. It says.
We'll
I
see
like it.
how long I can add the prizes to me.
Yeah.
Let's see.
We did good. We scoped out some cameras.
Yeah,
We stalked some guards.
I was dressed for the occasion today. I was
You
ready
were.
to do museum work. Oh, look, yeah. What does it say? Art lives here. That's adorable.
I like it.
Yeah. Okay. My
All
girl's
right.
enjoying her prizes. Okay, so where are you? You're gonna stay right here. So let me. Wish we can stay right here. Let me turn around.
Yeah, we can stay here.
All right. So that. Let me get my camera turned around.
That's day 4.
Day 4 in the books. We're gonna take tomorrow off. So that tomorrow is
Yep.
Thursday. So we'll stream on Friday.
Yep.
Closer to 6 or a little earlier if we can swing it. So yeah, we'll see what day 5 has in store on Friday. Do you have any
That sounds
closing
perfect.
comments?
I do not. I'm
I mean,
exhausted.
you told plenty of Shadowrun story.
Yeah.
So, as always, I just want to thank everyone who was here watching the video, watches it later. Hopefully they're helpful. Consider liking, commenting, subscribing, sharing with friends. We appreciate
No, don't consider it. Do it.
You're so forceful. So forceful. Just do it. Subscribe. You know you want to. All right. Are we ending on that tour?
Yeah, we're ending on that.
All right.